Yes, good afternoon. Last week we were enthusiastic about the process that had begun in the pursuit of justice for Brian. You recall 6 accused persons were arraigned in court and they took plea. They made an application for bail. You recall we vehemently opposed the application. We were back today to collect a ruling in respect to their bail application. I must, number one, appreciate the tone with which the court began reading out the ruling. Indeed, this coming out on a day after Mother's Day, it should have been a great day for Mama Brian and his wife and Brian's wife. But then we have what we have now. The court made a decision that the accused persons would be released on bond, bail, cash bail of 100,000, bond of 300,000, and a surety of a similar amount. And of course, it had its reasons. It gave us 14 days to look through it and see whether we can appeal or not. But the indication I already get from my clients, from our clients, is that that's a decision that should actually be challenged. We'll still have a second look at it, and we'll advise our clients. May I say this for the record? We still have faith in our judiciary. I want to say that. We still have faith in our judiciary. Judicial officers are our brothers. They are our sisters. They are our parents. Some are our grandparents. They live with us. This is a matter that they are also well aware of. Even not to seem as though I would be giving directions to a court that is competent, I would say if not for anything, they would be sensitive to events such as this. Okay? Such decisions as that has been rendered by the court sometimes get everyone else wondering whether the court was fair or the court was compromised and all that. We would want to leave that to the grapevine. All we have to do is to assure the family and everyone else involved in this process that we will continue fighting for the rule of law. We will continue fighting for justice for Brian and for his family. May I also, at this point in time, acknowledge the effort that we have seen being put in this cause by our friends from the civil societies. I want to recognize specifically the efforts that have been put place by the civil society organizations in Nakuru. I understand that their representative is here, Mr. Tom. I think he's from Gapling. All right. I would also appreciate what our friends from IMLU and Voco Africa are doing in this course. They have been quite instrumental. They have led this discourse, and we ask them not to tire. I want to sincerely also thank them for instructing us all to appear for the family of Brian and themselves in this course. I also want to appreciate the Law Society of Kenya. They seconded to us Able Counsel. Mr. Kipkoech has been very, very instrumental in this last few days, and is a veteran. And we appreciate his input so far. I want to specifically also thank my colleague here, Mr. Wanjir. He's also been instrumental in this course, and we will soldier on. This is what I want to say. We will soldier on. May I now invite Mr. Kipkoech to have a word with you, members of the press and the general public, even as we continue with this discourse. Thank you so much.
Asante sana Abuya Mogendi. Mbali na hayo ambayo yamesemwa na Bwana Abuya Mogendi, jina langu ni Kipkoech Bernard Ngetich, mimi ni wakili, na ningependa kusema kwamba wiki iliyopita mbele ya hakimu Kibelion Kirui, na leo tarehe 19 mwezi wa 5 mwaka wa 2025, vile vile tumekuwa mbele ya hakimu tarehe 12 mwezi wa 5 mwaka wa 2025 tumekuwa mbele ya hakimu Kipkirui Kibelion, na leo hii ametoa hukumu kwamba wale maafisa wa shirika wa kulinda wanyamapori, shirika la wanyamapori Kenya Wildlife Services, ambao ni askari 6 na ambao wanadaiwa kwamba waliweza kumteka nyara ndugu yetu Brian Odhiambo, wameachiliwa kwa dhamana ya shilingi 1,300 ama pesa taslimu ya $100,000. Mimi ningependa kusema kwa niaba ya shirika la mawakili, ningependa kusema vile kwa niaba ya familia kwamba sisi hatukubaliani na hiyo uamuzi kamwe. Hiyo uamuzi tumekataa abadan katan, ingawa sisi kama wanasheria tunaiheshimu. Tunaipinga hiyo uamuzi kwa sababu gani? Tunaipinga kwa sababu Mama Brian Odhiambo mwenyewe aliweza kuleta kotini affidavit na akasema alifikiwa na mtu ambaye ametajwa kule, ambaye anaitwa Hosea, ambaye alikuwa anataka kumlipa pesa, alitaka kumpa mlungula ndio hii kesi iweze kuzama. Badala yake mahakama amefutilia mbali hiyo affidavit na akaendelea kupeana dhamana ya $300,000 ama $100,000 pesa taslimu. Ndiposa nimesema sisi kama shirika la mawakili, sisi kama familia ya Brian Odhiambo, sisi hatukubaliani na hiyo uamuzi na tuko na mpango ya kukata rufaa, kwa sababu hiyo uamuzi ya kuachilia watu ambao wamefundishwa kutumia silaha hatari, watu ambao wako na ushawishi mkubwa, watu ambao wanasaidiwa na shirika la wanyamapori ni kugandamiza familia ya Brian Odhiambo ambao hawana usalama yoyote, hawana uwezo wowote, kwa sababu Brian mwenyewe alikuwa mtu ambaye alikuwa anafua samaki na hana uwezo. Lakini hata hivyo ningependa kushukuru mashirika yasiyokuwa ya kiserikali ambayo yameweza kusimama pamoja na familia hii, mashirika kutoka hapa Nakuru, IMLU, tumekuwa na Focal Africa, tumekuwa na vyombo vya habari, tumekuwa na wananchi. Na ningependa kusema hivi, kupotea kwa Brian Odhiambo utakuwa tu ni kwa muda mfupi, kwa sababu sisi kama shirika la mawakili, sisi kama mashirika yasiyokuwa ya kiserikali, sisi kama marafiki ya familia ya Brian Odhiambo, lazima tutasimama kidete, kwa sababu kupotea kwa Brian Odhiambo inamaanisha kesho mtu mwingine anaweza kupotea. Na tarehe 19 mwezi wa 5 mwaka wa 2025 kesi hii itaendelea, na sisi tutakuwa tayari kuendelea. Tuko na imani kwamba haki itatendeka, na mbali ya Brian Odhiambo kupatikana, wale majambazi, wale wahalifu ambao walimpoteza kwa muda tangu mwezi wa Februari watapatikana na hatia, na kulingana na sheria watafungwa miaka 7 na baadaye hata vile kule mbinguni watakutana na hukumu nyingine. Tunasema kwamba tunasimama imara, tunasimama kidete, na tuko na imani kwamba haki itatendeka na Brian Odhiambo atapatikana, na hao ambao walihusika hawatawahi kurudia tena kitendo kama hichi cha kuteka nyara mwananchi, mlipa ushuru, mtu mnyonge, mtu ambaye ana uwezo, eti kwa sababu huyo ni mnyonge. Mnyonge atashikwa tena Kenya hii, kwa sababu sisi kama wanyonge tutashikana pamoja. Asante sana.
Good afternoon. It is indeed a very sad day that the courts have ruled to release the 6 KWS suspects who are in custody. And it is a ruling that makes us wonder whether judicial officers are truly in touch with reality. Brian has been missing for almost 4 months now. It's almost 4 months since Mama Brian last saw her son. Yet the court has released the prime suspects, the individuals who are last seen with him. They have just been released merely 1 week only while under custody. While we have received the ruling, we totally object to it. We feel it wasn't grounded on the real legal issues, but also with facts on the ground. And we are saying, bado mapambano. Bado mapambano. Where is Brian? That is the question. Mama Brian, bibi ya Brian, watoto wa Brian are still asking that question 4 months down the line. But the suspects today are going back to their families. The suspects will hug their wives, will hug their children. Na Mama Brian na bibi ya Brian watahug nani? That is the question we are asking. Why does it every time tunakuja kotini it seems to be favoring the suspects and not the victims? That is why we are extremely disappointed with this ruling today, and we are saying bado tutapambana paka tujue Brian ako wapi.
I want to make some remarks. This one I would want to make on behalf of the civil society. My name is Atomboya, and I'm the director of GapLink International. And we are keen that we must have justice. I'll look at this from 3 different dimensions. The first being the dimension of cultural practice. If you look down over there and you see Mama Brian, she'll remain in that state until the day something of resemblance will be laid down with a ceremony to mark the end of this. The second thing is that their life has been stopped from other things that they ought to practice as a family. That's one thing. Gainful employment has been interfered with. And also, even for her to travel back home, at the moment she will not be able to travel home, that's in Nyanza, until she's got tangible resolutions that have been made here to be taken down to Nyanza. And that in itself, we would trust that the only place we could get this is through the judicial service, that some justice ought to be done or resemblance of the same ought to be done. The third part that is so painful is the issue that we have. At the moment, we all know that the park has not been accessible, and if it's accessible, it's limited, and if it's limited, then there are questions on who goes when, how, and why. At that point, we would want also to take this opportunity, because us as a civil society in Nakuru alone cannot be able to make much, and we really want to take this moment to really appreciate our partners, other civil organizations, particularly from Nairobi. And in this case, I'd want to point out my brother Khalid, who is here with us, Imlu, and others. There are those who have not come in persons, but Akina Mwangi have also sent their goodwill that we are together. So the message that we would want to send is that we may tire today, that the night might settle, but what we can assure you, tomorrow we'll wake up, and we'll wake up more stronger. May God bless Kenya.